Today we have the honor to have you to officiate our pathology and infectious disease ward building, the Taiwan region, which is this Taiwan region, and the launching of the Hospital Patient Safety Week 2016 function. So meaning that with cytology services in this place, pap smear test from all the hospitals and clinics on Central Zone will be sent to Sibu Hospital instead of all the way to Kuching. Once again, my sincere gratitude to all our visitors, especially our dear Minister, for your second time with us, and we hope that you will come more often. Thank you for showing your concern for the people we serve in this region. We really appreciate.
Hadirin dan hadirat yang dihormati sekalian, majlis kita pada petang ini diteruskan lagi. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya ingin menjemput Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. S. Subramaniam, Menteri Kesihatan Malaysia, bagi menyampaikan ucapan beliau. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Yang saya hormati Dr. Nguyen Hee Ung, Pengarah Hospital Sibu, Dr. Jamila Hashim, Timbalan Pengarah Kesihatan Awam, Jabatan Kesihatan Negeri Sarawak yang mewakili Pengarah Kesihatan Negeri Sarawak, rombongan yang turut bersama saya daripada Kementerian, iaitu Timbalan Pengarah Kesihatan Awam Dr. Dr. Lokman Hashim, Pengarah Bahagian Perkembangan Perubatan Dr. Dr. Azman Abu Bakar, Pengarah Bahagian Perancangan Dr. Dr. Noraini Baba, Pengarah Bahagian Pembangunan Saudari Rama, Ketua Bahagian Kejuruteraan Saudara Jalal, tuan-tuan, puan-puan dan saudara-saudari yang saya hormati sekalian. Terlebih dahulu saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Ketua Pengarah Hospital dan jawatan kuasanya kerana telah mengaturkan satu program iaitu untuk merasmikan bangunan patologi dan ward penyakit berjangkit dan pelancaran kempen kesihatan pesakit untuk tahun ini bersama lawatan saya kepada hospital pada hari ini dan mengaturkan program ini supaya saya dapat berjumpa dengan satu cross section kaki tangan bukan saja daripada hospital, ada murid-murid daripada College Segi, rakyat umum, mereka yang ada tempat duduk dan mereka yang tidak dapat tempat duduk. Ini satu contoh yang baik. Satu kejayaan majlis bergantung kepada jumlah orang yang hadir majlis. So daripada segi itu majlis ini boleh dikatakan sudah berjaya. Kena ada orang berdiri. Saudara-saudari yang saya hormati sekalian, tadi di dalam ucapan Pengarah Hospital, seperti pengarah-pengarah hospital di seluruh negara, beliau telah menyenaraikan segala keperluan hospital ini dan telah menjanjikan kepada saya beliau akan hantar satu folder selepas majlis ini. Saya pun menunggu dengan satu kesabaran yang begitu tinggi kepada apa yang terkandung di dalam folder. So ini satu perkara yang to me satu kebiasaan. Mana-mana tempat pun saya diberi folder, lepas itu diberi cenderahati. Kedua-duanya datang bersama. Tiada ada cenderahati tanpa folder. Dan kadang-kadang folder lebih berat daripada cedera hati. Itu biasa ya. Dan kerana tiada ada hospital atau klinik di mana kaki tangan di situ puas dengan apa yang mereka ada. Tapi ini bukan saja di Malaysia, sama di semua tempat di dunia yang lain. Seluruh dunia pun macam itu juga. If you go anywhere, same problem. Tiada ada orang yang akan cakap kita ada semua kemudahan. So kita akan menerima itu sebagai hakikat di dalam bidang kesihatan. We always will live with certain things which we won't have. That is the reality. So we can't hope for a day when you will have everything. So that's part of the practice of medicine. But what is more important is how much we can do with what we have. How much we can do with what we have. That is the most important thing. There was a very famous physician by the name of Albert Schweitzer. I don't know how many of you have heard of Albert Schweitzer. Maybe the medical students should know about them. Those who haven't heard of Albert Schweitzer, you better go and read about Albert Schweitzer. What he did. He was a doctor who went to the forests of Africa and practiced barehanded in the forest. And through that brought medicine to the people. So which means you don't need a hospital to practice medicine. You only need the heart to practice medicine. You need the mind, the heart, and you can do a lot of things with whatever you have. So this is most important because they're medical students here. I want to give a bit of philosophy to them. And nursing students also. They must understand that the art of the practice of medicine is not dependent on machines and drugs. It's dependent on the humanity which is within all of us. You can have the best of machines, if you don't have humanity, that's a waste. So most important thing is how you have humanity, and that is very, very important. And so I hope this message is taken, because when you listen to the whole list which Dr. Nguyen said just now, you might wondering that there's nothing in this hospital. There's a lot of things in this hospital. They're doing a great job. You must give a big clap to them. They're doing a great job, right? And in Malaysia, we are doing a great job. We've got an excellent health system in this country. We must be proud of it. We've got one of the best health systems in the developing nations, and one of the best health systems in Southeast Asia. One of the best health systems in Southeast Asia, and we must be proud. Even in Sarawak, even in the most remotest part of Sarawak, we got healing. From yesterday, I was in Daru, I was in Muka, and I stopped in a lot of clinics on the way. Some of them look terrible. The buildings are very old, but the work they do is very good. So the building doesn't matter, it's what work you do within the building which matters. They're saving so many lives. They are treating so many mothers who are pregnant. They are identifying the mothers who have got high-risk pregnancy. They are making sure the children who are born in the remotest of villages get immunized against diphtheria, tetanus, polio, mumps, measles, rubella, hepatitis. Our figures are very high. We got for DTP, hepatitis, I think our coverage is about 96-97%. Measles slightly down, 92%. But the others is very, very high. That is our success. If we ask what's the success of the Malaysian health system, that is our success. Why does that happen? It is because we have dedicated nursing staff, in small clinics, who are going to the houses of these people. They are tracking them. They are seeing whether they have given the immunization. If not, they are telling them, your child has missed this injection, please come to the clinic. They go to the house. No other part of the world you have such a kind of service. You better give a clap for that. And is that important? That's important. That is how we reduce mumps. That is how we are on the way to eradicating polio. That is how we have reduced hepatitis B. When you reduce hepatitis B, you reduce the incidence of chronic hepatitis. You reduce the incidence of liver cirrhosis. You reduce the incidence of hepatocellular carcinoma, which will come if you have not treated them initially. Isn't it, physician? True. It is because we have done that, we have achieved all those things. About 80, 85, 87% of our girls from Form 2 onwards have been given vaccination against human papilloma virus infection. I presented this data in the APEC meeting in Beijing about 2 years ago. In Malaysia, we have given HPV injection, immunization or penetration level is about 88%. The Americans were surprised because they are still trying to achieve 60% in the United States. So we have done better than the United States. You can give yourself a clap for that. Because of our penetration level. Which means in another 15-20 years time, the number of carcinoma of the cervix will go down. Because we have attacked it from the start. So this is what medicine is about. So you must understand that. And all those things which I mentioned to you just now, that's a reduction in measles, reduction in mumps, reduction in diphtheria, polio, rubella, hepatitis, CA cervix, hepatocellular carcinoma, the whole value of that economically is immense. The value of that economically is immense. Otherwise, all these people will be suffering. They all will be suffering. So by so doing, we have actually prevented so many things. Can you imagine a lady getting CA cervix? Of course, now with Pap smear and all that, we are diagnosing them rapidly. But undiagnosed, stage 4, when they come to you, the trauma on the family and all that. People with hepatic cancer, no known treatment, invariably more fatal, only period of time. But we are preventing it. That is the most important thing. And by so doing, you're saving millions and millions of dollars. So that is the overall success of the Malaysian health system. And the fact that every mother is registered through an antenatal setup. You look at our figures, 25% of all admissions throughout on the average in the country is issues related to pregnancy, delivery, and those related to that. That is very high. Why? Because every lady who is pregnant is registered into a health service. Very few other countries that is achievable. They are, from the time they are pregnant, they are registered and we follow them up. I was in Muka just now. There was a lady there, blood sugar 7.4, admitted. She's the only patient in the ward. Very nice ward to be in, because all the doctors and nurses take care of you, only one person. 7.4, she's about 34, 36 weeks pregnant. She's there for control of her diabetes. So that is the facility. Even that is the function of Muka. Not to do brain transplant or liver transplant. The function is Muka is to make sure that that lady who comes there, her blood sugar is controlled, so her pregnancy will be uncomplicated and she will give birth to a nice and healthy baby. That's Muka's function. Likewise, every hospital has got a function of its own, defined what they're supposed to do. So long as they realize that function and they can do that function, then our health system should be okay. So I told him, Muka, your function, you don't dream of becoming a cardiac center or a renal transplant center. Your duty is make sure you find out all the diabetics in this region, make sure they all are optimally controlled, identify all the hypertensions in this area, make sure they're all optimally controlled, make sure every fella there, the cholesterol is within normal limits, make sure nobody smokes in your area, all of them live good lifestyle. If you have achieved that, you have done a great service to the health system, because you have reduced the number of patients who will come with chronic renal diseases to Sibu. You have reduced the number of people who will come with eye problems to Sibu. You will reduce the number of people who will end up with loss of limbs and the consequence of that. All that you have reduced just by doing that one good job which you are supposed to do, making sure you manage these chronic diseases well. That's their function. So long as they and to do that function, they got every facility. They got a lab, they got X-ray, they got doctors, they got nurses who are trained, they got adequate amount of drugs, they got everything possible to achieve those things which I said, so long as they are focused in achieving that. So long as they are focused in achieving that, and they can achieve that, then that's their contribution to health service. So everybody has got a contribution. Clinic Desa has got a contribution. Clinic Kesehatan has got a contribution. District hospitals got a contribution, and big hospitals like this have got a contribution at different levels. So we have to understand this. We have to understand this so that this will be used by optimally by everybody. So this is very, very important. So that message is very, very important, because medicine becomes more and more expensive as you go up the ladder. The cheapest is prevention. The most expensive is tertiary care medicine. Very, very expensive. So where do you want to invest the money? If you ask me where I'll invest in prevention. If you give me 1 million ringgit and say, where will you invest? Will you invest in a super hi-fi machine which will treat 5 people, or you will invest in a clinic which will treat millions of people? I'll put the money in the clinic to treat millions of people. Because that is what it means. You see, on the economy of scales. So where we are going to invest. So prevention is very, very important. That's what we're all about, because as technology improves, of course new things are available. New opportunities come. New drugs are available. This government money budget is finite. It's not like a rubber band expands like that. We get 23 billion ringgit. 23 billion ringgit a year. Out of which about 11 billion goes to pay all your salaries. 11 billion goes to pay all your salaries. So we left with another 11 to 12 billion. Out of that, another 3 billion goes to pay all the drugs which you are giving out in the pharmacies. So we left another 8 billion. Of the 8 billion, about 5 or 6 billion goes to pay all these fellows who are sweeping your hospital, security, cleaning your drains, all these guys. So at the end of the day, what we really have is maybe 3 to 4 billion ringgit, which we use for all the other things which are doing. That's the reality. Of course, we want to stretch it. We want to stretch it. We want the government to give us more money. But the government has got its own responsibilities. Last year, we got a cut, not expansion, cut by 380 million ringgit. But we can't blame it, oil price went down. So we all have to share cost of oil price going down. So we share the issue. But despite that, we are doing great service. We did a comparative study between private sector medical service and government sector medical service. Very strangely, the result shows the public's perception of the government sector is as good, if not better, than that of the private sector. That's because of all the good work all the staff here are doing. That is what the result shows. Of course, there are one or two areas we lost, like waiting time, how rapidly do, but the overall perception of the service, the quality and available, 78% was satisfied with what they're getting in the government. That is the most important thing. That means public perception, still we are doing a good job. That means they understand our problems. They understand. If they got to wait, they understand why they have to wait. That is good. So most important thing, particularly for the younger generation, prevention is a must. Treatment, we try to treat as often as we can, as well as we can. And the more important thing is, in medicine, apart from knowledge and hard skills, is the soft skills is the most important. If you look at the complaints which we receive from patients, very rarely it's because this particular machine was there, not there, or this machine was not there. No. It's mostly because this doctor did not talk to me properly, didn't explain to me properly, or was rude to me. This was the main complaint. So it's the human touch is the one which causes the most harm. So the younger generation, this is very, very important. You have chosen a profession in which the human touch is as important as your knowledge. Knowledge without human touch is useless. You must be the most brilliant doctor, first class honors in MBBS, but you're not a human being is wasted on you. You must be a human being. You must be kind, because it's your kindness which is going to give you the results. So an average fellow in kindness does better than the most brilliant fellow who is so egoistic because he is brilliant. So become a human being. Show kindness. That is the one which eventually is going to give the results. That is very, very, very important. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a nurse, that is the very, even there might be lapses, but your kindness, your smile, your warmth will actually compensate from those things which we lack. Otherwise, that is the one which is going to cause a problem. So be clear about that. And with that, as far as this hospital, I mean, after talking to the Pengara just now, there was one area I think we can probably offer some help to you, is that 2 empty wards which you have, which can assist in modifying that, which I hope will solve the problem which you have in the pediatric, the neonatal ICU and the pediatric ICU, and probably the high HDU which you have in the medical ward. So if we can solve that problem, that will probably reduce congestion in the medical ward, help reduce congestion in your neonatal ICU, and improve the facilities for pediatric ICU. So that 2 wards renovation, I think you can make a proposal, sit with all the people who are responsible for that here. They can look at it and how we can help you. So that changes will help you reduce some of the congestions in the areas which I went to see just now for a start. In the long term, as this hospital, we want to make it a tertiary hospital. So as you move forward, you probably have to have a dedicated ambulatory care center which will probably help to improve daycare services and at the same time improve daycare surgery, so that will reduce the congestion, but that's a long-term plan. So you have to make a proposal and we'll take it out, but I can't promise you when that can happen. But this renovation of these 2 wards we can do fairly rapidly, because that will actually help to solve some of the immediate problems which you're facing. So with that, I congratulate you, and as far as hospital safety is concerned, that's a culture. We don't want people who come here less sick and go out of it more sick because what happened in the hospital. This is becoming a problem. Hospital-acquired infections are becoming a major issue. And they have deadly bugs which don't respond to any antibiotics. Just last week I was in Tokyo in a meeting with all us Asian Minister of Health, conjunction with WHO, talking on the issue of antibiotic resistance. It's a very frightening situation. We might very quickly go to a state where we might have bugs without antibiotics. There's nothing more distressing for a treating doctor to have a bug under your hand to which you don't have any drugs at all. And that is a possibility which might happen very, very quickly. So we need to be very, very careful. We are trying to improve upon our antibiotic prescription regimes to make sure that resistance which occurs in other parts of the world, which happens, there was a resistance which started in Delhi about 4 years ago, which has spread to many other parts of the world within 4 years. One we started in New Orleans, which also spread to other parts of the world in 4 years. And recently, we have resistance in China due to antibiotics they use the animal feed, which might spread to colistin-based animal feeds, which is spreading to other parts of the world. So we are facing serious problems. That's why we have to be very, very careful in making sure patients who come to our setup don't acquire infections within our hospital setup. Because that particular bug is going to be a very tough and resistant bug to which treating will be very, very difficult. So that is one important aspect of hospital safety. The culture which we have. Basic things like hand hygiene, which helps to reduce hospital infections. To what an extent we implement it. I know we all got protocols, but what an extent the staff follow these protocols. See, sometimes shortcut, but shortcut gives to very bad results. If you know the Ebola story, the one particular nurse got Ebola purely because the way she gowned and de-gowned herself. Just that. In that process, she touches bare skin with a contaminated hand. So that is how deadly the bugs which we have now. So we have to be very, very careful in how we manage ourselves and be religiously particular about protocols and just follow it, because you won't see the results today, but these results will definitely follow with us sometime. So that's one single message we'd like to give in conjunction with Hospital Safety Week. And I hope this message will be taken along with all of you. Again, I thank you all for the very good work you're doing. Continue with the good work. And as far as car park is concerned, we will look into the privatization concept which you said. Malaysians are very rich. If there's 600 patients you have, you might have 1,800 cars which come here every day. Everybody who comes to visit the one patient will come with one car. And 3 people come to visit the one patient, they will come in 3 cars. How are we going to build car parks meeting to all the expectations? Difficult problem. But here the one solution will be to build story. But that also will not solve the problem. This is an ongoing thing. It has to come with a change in attitude. You know? Attitude. Unfortunately, towns like this, you don't have good public transport system. So people have to come with cars, unless they pool their cars and come together. Or you may create disincentives of parking cars here. Then they will come up to you. And you can't talk about it during election time. Okay? Anybody else who is here? No. Okay, with those words, I thank you very much. All the best. We all are part of one family, dedicated to one cause, and everybody in the family must do their part to ensure that we reach a high health system. Everybody is equally important. Thank you very much.